Welcome to BT Sports Score. Before the New Year festivities get underway, there's a packed afternoon of football, and today we have over 3,000 English League appearances on the sofa, with nearly 2,000 of them in the Premier League.
There are 7 Premier League games today, with 6 kicking off at 3 o'clock.
After all that, the final Premier League game of 2016 is an absolute belter. Liverpool against Manchester City, live on BT Sport from 5. And Jake Humphrey is at Anfield for us with all the latest news.
Afternoon, guys.
Just discussed with the guys, but on this day in 2005, the Blues were even further ahead of the chasing pack. A 2-0 win over Birmingham saw them end the year 11 points clear and on course to win a second consecutive title under Jose Mourinho. Chelsea's second goal was scored by Arjen Robben, who went on to set a record 20 consecutive wins when starting in the Premier League. Now, that record is currently under threat from another Blues player, Marcus Alonso, who comes into today with wins in his last 16 Premier League starts for Sunderland and Chelsea. Now, also on this day in 1994, our very own Chris Sutton was part of the Blackburn side, which won 1-0 at Crystal Palace to stay top of the table heading into the new year, which was the season in which they held off Manchester United to become Premier League champions. So, Chris, at this point in the season, when you were sat at the top of the table, did you really have that year for you guys? And as it's New Year's Eve, we're asking you to get in touch to tell us your team's most memorable moments from the last 12 months, and also what New Year's resolutions you'd like your club to keep in 2017. I'll be reading those out during the course of the show today and asking our panel to weigh in as well. So just give us a tweet or use the hashtag BT Sports Score. And remember, you can also send us any star strikers are top of the agenda for many fantasy managers heading into this game week 19. Sergio Aguero's return has seen plenty of you digging deep to get him back into your team. He scored braces in 4 of his 6 away games this season. However, he's never managed a goal at Anfield. Who knew? Diego Costa has been a much more popular transfer target following his one-match ban. The Chelsea forward, currently the top striker across the whole of FPL, with 13 goals and 115 points ahead of the visit of Stoke. But the form man at the moment is Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who's returned 3 consecutive double-digit tallies, including a season-high 15 points against Sunderland on Boxing Day. And I'll be keeping you up to date with Ibra's progress against Middlesbrough, especially as he's my captain for game week 19, as well as all of the other fantasy football and social media news throughout the afternoon. Don't forget to get in touch with us. Tweet us your memories of 2016 and your questions for the guests as well at BT Sports Score. Next couple of minutes or so, but it was fog that took centre stage in the Championship last night, Mark, wasn't it? With 2 of the 4 fixtures failing to reach a conclusion. Brighton and Hove Albion's game against Cardiff was called off before kick-off, but that didn't seem to ruin the Seagulls' festive spirit. Brian Owen, who's a journalist from the Argus newspaper, tweeted saying that food, which had already been prepared for sale at the Amex tonight, is being delivered to a hostel for the homeless in central Brighton. So continuing the good deeds. Meanwhile, Reading's match against Fulham at the Medeski Stadium was controversially abandoned at half-time, with the game still goalless. Referee James Linnington twice consulted the benches during the first half when conditions began to get worse and worse, and the linesmen appeared to be really struggling to see certain incidents. But ironically, much of the fog actually seemed to have lifted during the interval, as you can see from this. So descended on the game between Yeovil and Portsmouth, yet somehow the game was completed, finishing in a 0-0 draw. The fog was so thick that the Portsmouth's official Twitter ended up having a little bit of fun with their text commentary, saying someone, can't see who, for Yeovil had a shot and it went wide. Yes, the fog is that bad. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us at BT Sports Score. Just had half a chance there, but it has been a frustrating start to the afternoon for United. They are held 0-0 by Borough at the moment. Could be a good day, though, for David De Gea, who's the most popular goalkeeper in Fantasy Premier League at the moment. He's on the hunt for his 3rd clean sheet in 5 games. Now, it's also a big day for 2 Manchester United legends. Former captain Steve Bruce celebrates his 56th birthday today, and watching on from the stands at Old Trafford, is Sir Alex Ferguson, who's now turned 75. Now, Fergie was trending on Twitter this morning, which prompted a worried response from many of you, including Amir Nazar, who tweeted saying, "I saw Sir Alex Ferguson trending and thought that the worst had happened, with it still being 2016 and all. Luckily, it's just the legend's birthday." Opta Joe took the chance to highlight the great man's remarkable record as well, tweeting, "Sir Alex Ferguson took charge of exactly 1,500 matches as Man United manager. Impressive, winning 60% of them as well," which is legendary. And obviously, Incy, you spent around about 6 years playing under Fergie. So, well, yeah, it was very busy first half, wasn't it? And just 5.6 million, Benica Fobi's goal is his second in 5 matches for Bournemouth now, meaning he's returned points in 3 of his last 5 matches. Another option who was highly tipped at the start of the season is Andre Gray, of course. Now, his finish against Sunderland means he's now recorded back-to-back goals for the first time this season, to the delight of his owners. There was a bit of heartbreak for Zlatan Ibrahimovic's owners against Middlesbrough, though. Of course, the striker had that goal disallowed against Borough for that high foot, which means 1.8 million managers missed out on some much-needed fantasy points, I being one of them. And Peter Schmeichel didn't agree with the decision either. He tweeted saying, "I'm not having that at all. Zlatan did nothing wrong. Valdez was simply too late." Tweet us your team's most memorable moments in 2016. So here's some of the highlights that you've come up with so far. Steve Greenwood just simply tweeted us a picture of this man, Gary Monk, for the fine job that he's done in rejuvenating Leeds this season. Leslie Holland has gone for Barnsley FC's rise from bottom of League 1, up to 10th in the Championship, and also 2 visits to Wembley as well. In terms of specific matches, though, Matthew Purchase has picked out the Dortmund game at Anfield in the Europa League when Liverpool staged that stunning comeback to win 4-3. That's one of my highlights as well. And True Blue 2012, obviously a Chelsea fan, has decided to focus on this season, who said the 3-0 defeat to Arsenal turned our whole season and year around. But for so many of you, including John Wright, it's been all about Leicester. And John Wright tweeted saying the best moment has to be at the King Power Stadium, their 3-1 win against Everton, a lifetime as a fan made worthwhile. And obviously, Robbie, that's probably one of your highlights of the year as well, isn't it?
Yeah, almost certainly.
The minute mark in today's matches now, which means that fantasy managers will be on the lookout for their clean sheet bonuses. Victor Valdez could prove an unlikely hero for Middlesbrough today. He's made 6 saves now at Old Trafford, which means that if his side can hold on, he'll get 8 points before bonuses are added. Bournemouth's clean sheet would also be good news for owners of Charlie Daniels. He's set to take his total for the season to 70 points if they hold out against Swansea. However, it is bad news for managers of Chelsea players. They've conceded for the first time since game week 15, which means the hundreds of thousands of owners of Cesar Azpilicueta, Marcus Alonso and Gary Cahill all miss out on the shutout bonus. Cahill, though, obviously at least salvaged something for managers by scoring Chelsea's opener.